know about his case, or did you know his music prior to writing him as well? Was you a Max B fan?
So, okay, so funny story. So I had like an ex-boyfriend, and so he would listen to his music. So shout out to him, you know. But ever since that, I was like listening to his music. I didn't know he was locked up when I was listening to his music.
Man, I have to be honest. I was allowed to keep 10,000, for example. Max B just finished speaking with two of the legends of Harlem. You know, it was a great interview with Cameron and Mase. All right, the interview went well. Guys eating chicken wings, that is. They're eating well, enjoying life, and unwinding. It was merely an interlude, in my opinion. Do you understand that it wasn't at all dramatic? They didn't discuss the opposing side, which makes sense to me because I work in this industry. However, there was one thing that made me feel uneasy. I had to be truthful. I had to make it public. One thing in particular didn't sit well with me. What do you know? Let's discuss it. Yo, what makes YouTube good? I'm grateful to everyone who supports the channel. In order to be informed when I release a video or go live, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and make sure your bell notification is set. You guys need to talk about this, because it didn't result in a lot of controversy. Max B is on his global tour, so I have to be honest. Yes, he's moving, his hands are trembling, he's rubbing his shoulders. Look, hey, he's approaching the bag. I'm not upset about what he's doing. He is seated at the round table with two of the top players from Harlem who, in my opinion, have the potential to advance his career. To be quite honest with you guys, Cam and Mase are very well established, right? I've been in the business for a while, so they are the guys. These are the guys who will be attending the game with sponsors. Sirius XL Radio is where they are. They have a Cyrus Radio, they're over there entering it. You understand what I mean? They're receiving a check. Therefore, they don't want to do anything messy. They don't want to engage in some activities that would be detrimental to the sponsors. Screw the money that is flowing in. The money should not be thrown away. And I could totally understand it. Without a doubt, I can understand that. These men are finished. Have you heard? Look, hey, Max B was interviewed. Everyone, including me, believed that they would end up in the same predicament as Jim Jones. And it didn't appear to go that way, did it? They were all from the same building, the same blocks. And you know what I mean when I say that I liked how they broke down. Because everyone is familiar with Charlie Rambo. You are familiar with Charlie Rambo if you are from Harlem. You feel me? I know Cam. I'm acquainted with MASC. I've known these guys since I was a little kid. I will be truthful. I've been watching these guys since I was a young child. And they only 3 or 4 years my senior. You get what I mean? However, they were playing ball when I was a little kid running around the streets. They were having fun with Lincoln Center and everything. You know, Lincoln and everyone else was just playing ball, right? Since everyone is aware that Max B got married, I'll be honest, I take it he got married, and I applaud that, brother. I'm happy that he can move on from the person who held him back for 10 years. You know, I'm happy. I don't mind at all. Given that the man served 18 years in prison, I have no problem with someone holding him down and doing whatever is necessary for him. Have you heard? I had to keep it heightened. The man served 18 years in prison. And there's nothing wrong with having someone hold you down. There's nothing wrong with that. However, keep her ass off those shows, Max. I've been operating this business on my own for a long time. Hold on. Max, I have to say it once more. No, we adore drama, so I wasn't really upset about it. You've heard that drama sells, and we want to push the narratives and get into the drama of things. Oh, he mentioned Jim Jones. We were all waiting for it, he said. I understand, but I most definitely wasn't waiting for Max B's wife to arrive. No, dude. Hey, look. Bro, I have to be truthful all the time. Put her ass somewhere in the back. Yes, quickly find something to do. Look, hey, respectfully, I'm making an effort. I don't want to act disrespectfully. I'm not one of those guys. Keep her ass in the rear with dignity. Yes, work behind the scenes with Max B or whatever you have going on. But in my opinion, she shouldn't be the one on camera all the time. This didn't appear good to me. The public doesn't need to know about your relationship, thus it was just a horrible look. Do you sense me? Furthermore, I'm not suggesting that Kame did anything wrong. I'm not claiming that Mase did anything wrong. She stated that ever since he came home, she'd been in the spotlight. She served that time with that man, so it makes sense. Have you heard? Yes, hello. She claims that she has been riding this wave for 10 years, whereas the nigga's 75 years. Yes, Perhaps he wants to give her everything. He wants to see that she receives all that is rightfully hers. But I'll be honest, social media is what this is. On social media, you have to keep your loved ones safe. These guys are vultures. I will repeat it once more. Social media is what this is. Max B, I am aware that he's making an effort to catch up. I recognize that he's making an effort to catch up. But to be honest, you have to keep your loved ones safe, buddy, because nobody else is going to do it. Yes, if you mention Kame and his adversaries, they will ask the appropriate question. Do you hear me? Kame will ask the appropriate questions such as this. How did you come to know Max B? Be mindful. If I look, I notice a problem. This won't be seen negatively by everyone. All right? I would prefer not to have mentioned this at all. Simply stay behind the scenes. Look, read the books, obtain the books, add up the money, something. She is capable of doing something completely different than standing in front of the camera. Y'all need to pay attention.
Know about his case, or did you know his music prior to writing him as well? Was you a Max B fan?
So funny story. So I had like an ex-boyfriend, and he would listen to his music. So shout out to him, but ever since that, I was like listening to his music. I didn't know he was locked up when I was listening to his music.
Okay.
And then so I was like, okay, that's when I researched him and stuff like that, and I found out about his case.
So how's this ex-boyfriend feel now?
I mean, he's happy for me.
Word?
Yeah, he's happy.
That's
He's
what's
like,
up.
because he's a fan. Like, he's a fan.
Right.
So.
Did he ask to meet him?
That's crazy.
Actually,
If that's not strange, you guys, I have to be honest, that's somewhat I find it to be absurd. Like, none of this was even known to us. This might have remained behind. Hey, no one needs to know how you met this. Yes, too. You restrained him, perform Earth. However, social media is extremely lethal. You see, I'm just going to highlight the aspects of this interview that I thought were flawed. And this is incorrect, totally incorrect. Pay attention to what she said. Max even received an invitation to the wedding from this. Charlie Rambo was the one who sold Max B. Naturally, pay attention.
he invited him to the wedding.
You gotta love Max.
Yeah, he invited him to the wedding.
That's
So
what's
I
up.
asked him. He was like, nah, I mean, I'll sit that one out, but.
Yeah.
And I will say this, am I correct? I don't think Mase or Kame were attempting to play him or anything similar, buddy. Have you heard? It's clear that she had the power to sit there and do an interview with these people. Look, dude, my wife shouldn't be involved in any of this. I'll be honest. This game is extremely risky, you see? I realize that Max B doesn't really comprehend it yet. However, he will eventually comprehend it. It doesn't look good at all. We didn't need to know all of this, in my opinion. Have you heard? From here, where does Max B go? I had to be truthful. From here, where does Max B go? Because I'm not sure about the podcasting aspect of things. I'm not sure. I am aware that he's getting warmer. I am aware that he needs to gather himself. I am aware that he needed to just get into the swing of things. However, I'm a realist. I'm a realist. Yes. Look, do you love it or despise it? In this game, I'm a realist. You either understand it or you don't. I will reiterate that. He is an incredible rapper. Yes, he is an incredible rapper. What a melody creator. He is aware of how to enter the studio. His wheelbarrow is that. However, everyone is beginning to visit the casting area because music is declining. And you have to wonder if Max B really possesses it. Sitting there with buddies from childhood, that is. Yes, I would have been awake. Yes, indeed. We're heading up. Have you heard? And I'm glad they didn't discuss the opposite side, so I wouldn't have said anything outrageous. Let's not misunderstand. However, I really didn't enjoy his wife being up there. I just have to tell you the truth. Everything was fine, Excellent interview. What? It's a nice interview, isn't it? However, that's simply not the thing about it. The wife didn't need to be heard because she was up there. All of that was unnecessary for us to hear. Do you sense me? Indeed. I loved how he described how he realized his time was running out and what he had to do after being moved from a prison where inmates had no chance of survival. And I adore everything about it, all right? I adore the cohesiveness. I think it's great that Kane was giving that guy a bag. The wife ought to been in the rear gathering the luggage. Forget about it, man. That's how I'm running. I'm rolling like that. For me, family life will always be family life. Personal life remains personal. However, you should avoid mixing it with this social media. I'm merely stating. Please let me know if I'm mistaken. Take a seat in the comments section. You guys, I'm just going to be honest. I would just tell you how I really feel about the circumstance. Excellent interview. All right? There isn't much going on, I guess. This time, Max is acting more casually. He's not, but I believe he will show up when the time comes. I am aware that it's early. Even though it's early, you really don't want your wife involved in any of this, buddy. Believe me. Get down in the comments section, everyone. Man, let me know. We're headed for 100,000. I thank everyone who supports the page. I salute you.
Or about his case, or did you know his music prior to writing him as well? Was you a Max B fan?
So funny story. So I had like an ex-boyfriend, and he would listen to his music. So shout out to him, but ever since that, I was like listening to his music. I didn't know he was locked up when I was listening to his music.
Okay.
And then so I was like, okay, that's when I researched him and stuff like that, and I found out about his case.
So how's this ex-boyfriend feel now?
I mean, he's happy for me.